Good evening, everybody. I'm not sure who's around tonight. I did mean to put out another little post earlier on Facebook, but it's been a little bit of a crazy day, as it's all a bit crazy at the moment, isn't it? So, hello for whoever can join tonight, and hopefully you can catch up with what I'm going to talk about later on. So here I am again. I said I'd keep going through the rest of the month with my Tuesday evening principles of good health. So here I am, and I thought I would continue the theme from last week actually, which is all about tips to help with your immune system. And today I'm also going to include some things about some self-care if you are feeling under the weather. And I know things are really, really difficult, and there's so much uncertainty around at the moment. Nobody really knows what to think and what's going on. But one thing that we can do is to do everything that's within our own natural power to take care of ourselves and look after ourselves. And no matter what may be going on in the outside world, taking care of our own health is something that is mostly within our own control and our own health, and something that creates a little bit more feeling of certainty and power when things are within our own control. So let me carry on. So I spoke about quite a few things last week, and just a sort of quick recap that, you know, even more so now. Hi, I'm glad to see there's some people who can join me tonight, so do say hello. Just a quick recap, and I think, you know, we've moved on such a lot, haven't we, since I was talking last week. But just to recap, some of those things that I spoke about last week are still absolutely essential. I've just rebought and stocked up on my vitamin C. I've stocked up, no, I haven't stocked up, but I've still got taking my vitamin D and taking some zinc. So those are my three main foundation things, if you like, in terms of supplementing. And of course my diet is fundamental in terms of a absolutely vegetable rich diet and some fruit, and as natural as possible, low sugar, low processed foods, and taking care of that. And interestingly, if you go into the supermarkets, the things that they've sold out of, other than toilet rolls, it's all the long life food. Everyone's like stocking up on long life food, but actually if you go into the supermarket, I think that's still the case, that you can go in there and you can buy your cabbages and things like that. So, you know, because you can't store it, can you? You've got to keep buying it for when you need it. So that's great. We can still get our vegetables and things that we need in our fresh fruit and veg. So what are the things I'd like to add to from last week? Well, some of the things that other things that are antiviral, herbs and spices. There's lots of herbs and spices that are very antiviral. You know, we're talking about a virus at the moment, so these things are antiviral. Garlic is antiviral, oregano is antiviral, cinnamon is antiviral. There is a lot of research around all of these spices and herbs that show they have antiviral properties. There is something that I keep as a store cupboard staple that's called oil of oregano, because it's antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, as oregano is as well. So I just said oregano, but garlic, olive leaf, those things are antiviral. So, you know, add these to your cooking. Use as many herbs and spices in your cooking as possible, because they do all have antiviral properties. So they're very helpful to add in. Make sure you're staying hydrated. We want to be flushing out things, flushing out toxins as much as possible. So do stay hydrated at this time. That's really important. Now, something that I drink every morning, I've drunk hot water with slices of lemon for donkey's years. Over 20 years, I think, I've drunk hot water and lemon. And only about 12 months ago that I thought about adding in ginger. And I've got a little tiny grater, and it's really handy size, because every morning I can chop off a little chunk of ginger and I can grate ginger into my hot water and lemon. And ginger, again, is really good for your immune system. So think about adding in some ginger if you take a hot drink, add some fresh ginger to it, because I love ginger, tastes absolutely delicious, or add it to your cooking. So that's a really lovely thing that you can do. And there's some essential oils that also show that they have antiviral, also antibacterial, but right now we're talking about virus. Eucalyptus and clove and lemon, those are essential oils that are really good with antiviral properties that you could think about using. Now, something else, when I was training as a naturopath and I studied hydrotherapy. Hydrotherapy is a technique that's very popular in Germany, but isn't really practiced over here at all. So you can still go to special hydrotherapy centres in Germany where proper hydrotherapy is practiced. Now, what they do there is that it's about the use of hot and cold water as stimulation. And there has, again, with research, because I do want to make sure what I'm talking about here, you might say, well, this is just, old wives' tales. No, there is research behind these things. Hot, cold water stimulation. So I end every single one of my showers with cold water. I used to do it just on my lower legs, and I do try and encourage clients to do this, even if you can only end your showers with freezing cold water up and down your lower legs. But as much as possible, I end every shower with about 30 seconds or however long I can bear it and sing for. I end my showers with freezing cold water. I mean freezing cold water. You actually feel fabulous when you step out of the shower. So if you're in strong health at the moment, then think about adding in some cold water. If it's too much to sort of think, oh, I'm going to end my shower with cold water, but trust me, you will feel fabulous. You step out of the shower and you feel so stimulated and you heat up really quickly. But you could go back to having hot water afterwards. But short, cold water stimulation for less than a minute. It's not a long time. It's the short cold of less than a minute, and I do about 30 seconds, has been shown to stimulate white blood cell production. And of course, it's our white blood cells and our immune response that we're talking about here. So, the weather's getting warmer and it's getting nicer. It may seem like something you cannot stand. You can build up to it. I just sing at the end of my showers and do this. So think about doing something like that. Now, self-care if we're not feeling 100%. So hot water with lemon juice and fresh ginger grated into it is a really lovely thing we can do if we're not feeling 100%. First sign of feeling run down and feeling like I'm coming down with some sort of infection, I up my vitamin C. And it is a safe thing to take because it's water soluble and doesn't stay in the body. It cannot be stored in the body, so it is safe to do. But at the sign of a cold, I would take up to 6 grams a day. That seems a very, very high amount. At the moment, I'm supplementing 1,000 grams of vitamin C a day. And I do that for quite a long time through the winter. But at the first sign of feeling run down and getting some sort of infection, I would take that, and I don't take it all in one go. I actually take that throughout the course of a day, maybe 6 times a day. So I'd actually be taking 6 grams in the course of a day because it can help to fight off some sort of infection. So think about doing that. Carry on doing everything that you can with, all the fresh fruit and vegetables. And think about soups. If you don't feel like eating much, then soups and broths are brilliant. Doing bone broths, again, is very, very good for you. By boiling up the bones, the bone broth is brilliant. And you can actually freeze that and you can reuse some of this, or you could add some to your soups, or you can just drink a little bit every day. It's very, very good for the gut, and it's very good for our overall health as well. Now, if you've got a sore throat, there's a very old-fashioned remedy that really does work. And you may have seen some things going around on Facebook about this at the moment, but it's actually gargling with salt water. Now, gargling with salt water for a sore throat is highly effective. What I don't want to say is true is some stuff that I'm seeing on Facebook that says if you gargle with salt water, it's going to kill off the virus. I'm not sure there is any truth in that at all, but it may help to stop the virus moving down to the lungs. Maybe it does. But it is certainly very, very soothing and may help to kill off some of the virus that's in your throat. But it's one of the first things you should do is gargle with salt water. Half a teaspoon of salt in a glass of warm water, and just gargle as and when that you can do that is really, really good for a sore throat if you're showing signs of that. The other things that's really good is the sauna. Well, we may get to a point now, if you are a member of a health club, that these clubs may not be open for much longer. I don't know. And of course, that's probably not very viable at the moment, is it, if we're all being told to self-isolate? So sauna may not be something that we can do at the current time, but saunas are shown to, be sweating out toxins and things. Under normal circumstances, may be a very powerful thing that we can do. So those are most of the things I wanted to talk about. How is everybody feeling out there at the moment? Does anybody want to say and give me any comments and feedback and what they're thinking at the moment? I'm trying to stay optimistic and positive. There's too much news about people dying, and what we're not getting enough feedback on is how many people are actually surviving and living, and actually that is the vast majority of people. And I know it's a worrying time, and that there's people who have compromised ill health, and we need to be looking after those. Of course we do. What is not really clear at the moment is actually how do we compare this at the moment to the normal flu virus, and what is going to be the long-term implications. Is this any worse than the normal flu virus in terms of the number of people who die from this? I think we need to, just try and keep this in some sort of perspective at the moment, that, we're self-isolating to try and take the burden off the NHS and try and look after those of the elderly who may have some sort of immune compromised systems, or who are not well. And that's what we're trying to focus on at the moment. But it is hard times. I think the good news, yeah, I understand we all may be a little bit scared, but I think we have to look at the statistics that most people are actually going to get mild symptoms. That's what we've heard. Most people are only going to get mild symptoms. You may even be carrying it and you may not even know about it. I think that's the problem, is that we're just picking up on and hearing from the media how many people are in hospital, how many people, the new deaths today. And it does sound really, really scary. But what we're not sure is, we don't even know how many people have this, because we're not testing for it. We're just self-isolating and taking care of ourselves. But absolutely, unless I think that we are immune compromised in some way, there is so much we can do to take care of our immune systems, do everything that we would normally do to look after ourselves, keep feeding our bodies healthily, eat good food, eat lots of vegetables, try and minimise the alcohol. I know there's a temptation, isn't there, that's what we want to do at the moment. What are you saying? Passing it on is scary, yeah, and just trying to stay out of contact with those who may be immune compromised, and that's what we're trying to do. Just the basics, hand washing, that is the most effective thing that anybody can do. And it's to try and keep your hands, isn't it difficult trying to keep your hands off your face, and trying to keep it away? It's getting the virus is in contact with the mucous membrane, so the nose and the mouth and through the eyes, and coming into contact in this area, and keeping our hands away from our face is the thing that we need to do. But our bodies are strong. If we look after our bodies are very, very strong. Keep feeding it good food, and just trying to stay optimistic. Come back to journaling. Just trying to journal. At the end of the day, be positive. It's getting lighter. It's getting warmer. The birds are singing. The flowers are coming out. It's sign of spring. At least if we've got gardens, we can still go outside. We can go and get some fresh air. Look at the greenery, look at the countryside, and make the most of all of that, really. And Ali has just said her hair colour appointment is in jeopardy. Potentially brunette. Actually, I'm more concerned about the grey. That's my I was talking to a friend earlier in a WhatsApp group, and the thing that's worrying us most at the moment is not getting our hair appointments. And not getting our hair cut and the colour done. And yeah, let's try and have some bit of light relief about some of this at the moment. I'm still thinking ahead to my spring clean program, and I'm planning all that at the moment, and I'm really looking forward to running that and trying to keep some positivity about, you know, looking after our health, and we need to strengthen our bodies, and we need to, you know, build up our vitality going forward. So I'm still planning to run that program, and I think everybody will be really up for doing that. We need to sort of reduce the stress on our body, flush out toxins, and do that in a few weeks' time. So I'm still ploughing ahead with my program in a few weeks. So, you know, just keep following these things that I've said. Feed yourself well, and just be really positive about looking after our own health. And that at the end of the day, our bodies are naturally very, very strong. The thing that's coming out is that people are dying have got some sort of underlying health conditions, but they're not actually saying what those underlying health conditions are. Maybe they're trying to do that so they don't scare us. Maybe it'd be helpful if we did know. They just say underlying health conditions. And I think really these people have some sort of they're immune compromised in some way, but it doesn't mean that most of us are immune compromised, and I think we have to sort of just keep things in check. I did go to the gym today, but I did yoga. I didn't do my normal crazy class. I am planning on going for a run outside tomorrow. I can still get outside and do that. I'm still hoping to go and ride my horse, as long as it doesn't chuck me off again like it did last week. So, you know, stay positive. Think about doing some journaling and staying positive about things. You've ordered a badminton set and a dartboard. Brilliant. Family, you know, think about getting out the games and doing stuff like that. I think that's brilliant. Badminton set and a dartboard. I think they're great ideas. Chance to declutter. That's a great thing that we can be doing. There's lots of positive things that we can be doing. So, you know, take care, everyone. I think we have to stay positive. It isn't all doom and gloom as it's coming about. I think the government is taking action because it has to be seen to be taking vital action. I think my holiday, my big lovely family holiday, is about to be squashed because we're told can't do any international travel unless it's essential, and I'm afraid my holiday's not, so that's all going to be canned. So yeah, I think I might be getting games out in the garden and doing things like that. So take care, everybody. I will keep doing my weekly posts every Tuesday, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do next week. So take care, everyone, but be positive, because we will come out the other side. And when we come out the other side, you know, we've got to stay strong, keep looking after our health, because that's what this is all about. And I'm hoping I can keep sharing with you ways that you can take care of your health and look after yourselves. And I'll catch up with you all next week. So take care, everybody, and thank you for joining me tonight. Bye.